It all comes down to one more match to decide it. And this is just to kick off the best of 9s, guys. There's a lot of matches between these two. We'll get the last Gamba up. We've got the Shambler in the bottom left, our Tyrian purple Protoss player. And in the top right, Neblime is our midnight green Zerg player. This is Qinngua Valley. Interesting choice by Neblime. Shambler, I said take a break and I meant it, dude. What's up, Patrick? Welcome, welcome. This will be the last game that we cast today. It'll be an interesting one for sure, as ZVP is a matchup we actually haven't seen yet, I believe. Shambler did not play Protoss at all recently, right? And the random gods blessed him with Zerg once on near impact and Terran 3 times. Neblime's on his second Protoss game in the random versus random, going for a gateway. Larvosk opener for... Oh, no, that's the Shambler as Protoss. Sorry, it gets confusing after they switch races a million times. I have a hard time updating the overlay correctly and all of that, as it is. So, when there's one random player, it can be challenging. When there's two, it's even more so. Rogue Gallery start for Shambler. So it's kind of a call-out. Like, Neblime's been playing a little bit greedy as a Zerg player. And he has gotten the most Zerg games so far. Like, this is his third Zerg game. We didn't see Neblime's Terran at all, did we? We saw... Wait, no, is this his fourth Zerg game? I'm so... Yeah, this is actually... He went Z, Z, P, Z, Z. That's so wild. The random gods decide, you play Zerg today. Double Rogue Gallery, and the first unit out of the first one is a Kabbalist. We'll see how that one goes. "2025 is surely the year of Cosmonarchy." Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Universe is telling Neblime to go back to his root. Yeah, yeah. Could very well be the case. Well, I don't know. He started off playing Terran way, way, way back. And then he played Zerg for a little bit. I don't know. I feel like Shambler's the only... Like, of the old guard, Shambler's probably the only player who originated as a Zerg. I guess you'd probably grandfather in Hamster as old guard by now. If you count, like, old guard equals Ascension era, that would be it. Starting to take the worker lead here as our Zerg player, just developing the triple Larvosk. And it looks like we're going to go for a drop pretty soon, judging by this many Ovoleths. Yeah, the tutorial teaches you how to lose and improve. That's the funniest part about the tutorial, I think. It can be pretty challenging, that's for sure. We'll improve it over time so that it's a little bit more educational, because I do feel like sometimes people will get lost, more so than they'll feel enlightened. But it is teaching you how to lose. That is the purpose. Not just how to lose, but how to get better. Like, one thing that I think somebody recommended was... I was recommended to check out this opportunity to tell the player, diegetically, of course, to review the footage, aka watch the replay. So we'll see if that's something that we can do. Kabbalists are going to descend upon the Hatcheros, not their best usage necessarily, but he does force the cancel. Ovoleth is here to guard against an infiltration, and those Kabbalists are going to get nuked immediately. One of them very, very low, the other killed. And we still have a third one in there, about half HP. Hydra's then nearly finished. We got a fourth Larvos coming. There is loads of larva here. 7 Hydras on 1 base. Neblime is no stranger to playing 1 base Zerg for a while. He actually, on his road to his Zerg championship in Acropolis 1, he had to deal with Hamster being an aggressive Protoss. All of our Old Guard, all of our, whatever you'd call between Old Guard and... Because what was it, Biddy B saying that oldest guard is pre-ascension? Yeah, our oldest guard and old guard. They've changed their races so many times. Like 3 Crow played Zerg for one of the ascensions to try to use like Kager drops. He almost beat Mystery Meat with it. It was really funny. Obviously, Mystery Meat played random. I think he was signing up as random one tournament, right? Big Zerg move out. I'm not sure that he can bust what a Shambler has in terms of units, but if he distracts him with the Zethracore movement, the army ends up folding. It's Mass Kabbalist. Well, I feel like that has a shelf life versus Hydra. If you're up against more melee-oriented units, you can definitely make that happen. As of right now, we got 6 Kabbalists. No detection here either. But again, I think the range damage is going to be more than enough to deal with this, especially with all the Quas alive. Oh, Shem was trying to descend on the Hydras in particular, weaving it back and out. I love the idea. I really do. I think that Kabbalists are a super cool unit. They are much more of a, you know, harassment unit, but I love the idea of them precision killing individual targets and then falling away. If the Ovaleth had still been there, that wouldn't have worked quite so well. Oh, the Nexus is down, and Neblime back to harvesting. He's made a lot of Hydras. Remember, his larva count is ridiculous, dude. He's actually making 7 units per 14 seconds, so his production is out the wazoo right now. Khazitrat starting. Force multiply his defenses. That can also be a detector as well. That is a detector. So if Shambler lets that get up, could be a problem. Oh, no. I think he's also, like, he's feeling the pressure, but the Hydra count is too high. Even if those Kabbalists were Drakonids, he wouldn't be able to fight this. So Neblime on the hunt. Turns around and puts some damage onto that Kabbalist. Good distraction so far. Yeah, you can thin the herd that way. Yeah, away from the Khazitrat, away from the reinforcement point, that's a little bit of a different story. But now that that is up, I don't think attacking is going to be an answer. So we're going to need to see Shambler go for a little bit of a different round here. I don't know what his next tier up is, but he's making an engram in the main. What's up with that? That's a lot of money to be putting down on not tech right now. Zethracore might get a kill, but probably not. Just deny a little bit. Oh, he does! Impressive. Now, Neblime doesn't know. The Protoss army is kind of loose over here towards 12 o'clock. There's an opportunity for Shambler to get some good damage. What will Neblime do in response? Immediately pulls back. He might just try to bait him in a little bit. He's going to lose the Khazitrat for sure. But as the units come in, I think this army is dead to rights. So Shambler needs to do enough damage that losing his army doesn't make a huge difference here. And now I think he might have realized, oh my god, what have I done? The drill as well for Neblime to get on top and deny moving further up. He won't even be able to take a Larvosk before he's clean swept here. Everything taken down. And he got a couple of worker kills, and he got the Khazitrat down, but that was it, man. Neblime can start moving across the map with the rest of his army, and Shambler's got 10 military units. He's making 4 right now, but I don't think that's going to be quite enough. Especially if Neblime pulls the switch. He's going to expand, but I would love to see him just start making only military right now. Just a horde of Zeths or something. Flood them in. Frustration stage. Engram at the natural instead. It feels like that was an ill-advised move out. We'll see if that ends up bearing fruit for Neblime. The Ovaleth is going to reveal the Kabbalists. Still a big portion of what Neblime has to deal with right now. Oh, but they dive in, and that's it. That's a wrap on them. Most of the damage gone. Now he's got to cycle back a little bit. Again, if he had a flood of Zeths or something, he could do something more than what he's doing right now. The Vagrants are pretty good chaff. They'll even pop the Ovaleth on the way out. They move pretty reasonably. Oh, maybe not. Doesn't want to commit to it just yet. The flood of Zeths is now coming as the third base is on the right. I thought maybe that would have a Drilleth in it and he would take the island base, but that is not the case. I've only ever seen the islands taken in one game before on Qinngua. I can't remember which one it was. It was recent, though. Diving in, Neblime is going to go after those Vagrants. The engram is done, though. Is he really going to keep going for this? It looks like the answer is yes, as he's got more Zets to try to intercept those shots. No more detection, but the Kabbalist is not likely to get that much done here against all the Hydras. Needs to wait for more units coming on. It's all Hydra now. Honestly, I thought those were going to be Zethra cores. That's really scary for Shambler. But he has held on for now, and he's making a Pariah. The engram will help out on the defense. I guess if there were some Vorva cores out, but we don't have the Vornath. Hydra's rallied in. Neblime yells at everybody who does that, so it's fitting to yell at Neblime for doing that. Or Hydra's for free. Unbelievable. Say it ain't so. Big Drilleth spike, though. He's taking the foot off the military pedal, put it on the economic one. Maybe the Mind Tyrant can help him out here. He's got a second prostration stage in the main. He's adding more anti-Gorga core defense, but it's for a depleted base, so it feels a little bit unnecessary. And Neblime is making the Zorkish Shroud, but it's going to be a while before we get to the point where he can get Gorgs out in good numbers. Love to see him take another base pretty soon as well. This is a 1500 mineral map, so your bases do deplete faster than you think. The new Sycophant is out. Tier 2 is coming for Neblime. Let's see what he can do here as he tries to bolster his Pariah. Chosen as the Malefactor. I think it's kind of fitting that a lot of the really, really good units to choose for Malefactor are like profane units, you know? Vibrance, Architect, Pariah, a Cantor. Thematically, you know, it's kind of on point. Ooh. DeWalt just showed up with 123 homies. Thank you very much, sir. We're about to watch a very, very powerful fight here, it looks like, because the Shambler is trying to get the better of Neblime in a 5-game set, and we are about 12 minutes in. Zerg massing up. Tier 2 nearly completed for him. Let's see what he can do with it. Right now he's got a Pariah, which is a very tanky frontline unit with good splash damage. And the Mind Tyrant is rocking out, giving him a very, very potent overshield. And any unit affected by the Pariah's attacks while it's under the effect of this spell is going to get controlled, mind controlled. See it in action there for just a moment. There's some charlatans as well for cloning the damage. This Khazitra providing more projectiles for Neblime. Oh, and frontlining with the Spellcaster is never a good choice. Maybe these Pariahs will start to get mulched because he cannot afford to lose any more frontline. There's still plenty of backline units coming in. A horde of Zets trying to make things happen. There's no splash damage left for the Shambler, and he is routed. Has to go back to the drawing board. I love the frontline defenses here. That Khazitra really helping out. Every unit around this particular structure. Oh, I guess it's dead now, actually. But there was a structure there. This one. Every unit with this yellow overlay gets to extra attacks, can target extra enemies. So a very good defensive choice, including for the lurkers here, the Lakizalisks. Now we've got a Drilleth drop. So we are going to see that island in the bottom right taken by our Zerg player. It's funny because he's got tier 2. He could just make flying drones and then he'd be in good shape, but wants to do it the old-fashioned way. Finally, a third base taken for our Protoss. Oh, and I think Neblime knows where that army is. Shambler can't be caught slipping here. He's going to get surrounded. The Lakers can deal with a lot of what Shambler has on the ground. He's making some more Mind Tyrants, but if he loses the Pariahs, there'll be nothing to enchant. Hydra cycling back here. Those Lakers need to move a little bit closer. They are slow. Oh, and Neblime cannot afford to lose too many of them. Now, worth pointing out, there's no detection here. So Shambler has to get on top of the burrowed units to reveal them, and that is his death sentence, it feels like. He might still be able to carve through, but the Pariahs are so damn low, and if those fall, there's only ranged units. You can't afford to get on top of the Lakers. God damn. Tried to fight it out like a man, had no detection. A lot of idle workers here, though. Maybe he can quickly transfer them over to that third base once it goes up. All that's left in the front lines for Neblime are those Lakes. He's making 16 Hydralisks, adding this base to his repertoire, shall we say, his retinue of expansions, and he will be taking 12 o'clock as well. Little bit of a double expand play coming up. He's going to start ferrying more workers. I can't believe he has the APM to do that. And he's upgraded his hatch. So when you upgrade your hatch in Cosmonarchy, it doesn't do what you think it does. This is your tier structure, like having a lair. We have a little bit of a scuffle over here as the Lakes start to apply some pressure. Do we still not have any detection for Shambler? No, he's going to choose to just stand on top of it. If Neblime was watching this, he could have actually killed those defensive units, but instead it looks like they will be passed on. A little bit of mind control action there. So those are now Lake is owned by the Shambler. But this is like your lair, and this is like an advanced production structure. You don't make the base unit, you make the advanced unit. So this is like if you were being able to make a Devourer or a Guardian out of your larva. That's what you can do when you see this structure here. That skips the first step, gets it straight out of the larva. So we got this big honkin' unit over here, the Zarkavrakor, a very potent one. It does do splash damage both to air and ground. And when you attack it, it gives you a retaliation strike. I love that Zerg have been turned into defensive emplacements now. That's really funny to me. Now, I guess the one downside here is that Shambler's going to be reminded about all of his workers. But I guess if the Zarks kill them, then it's like he didn't really lose anything, right? Because he didn't rally them there. Big misstep. He's actually pretty much saturated the space, too, which is unfortunate. He wouldn't even get that much value of sending them over. We've got an Ultra Core out. Unlike the Ultralisk, the Zerg Ultra Core for Cosmonarchy gives you a very, very durable unit that has life steal. And when it eats a corpse, it... oh my god, speaking of corpses, a lot of dead workers here. Well, no, you could just resaturate, Shambler. Look, you got all those units. But yeah, when it eats a corpse that attacks faster and moves faster, you can see that's what it's going to start doing now. That was that green overlay that appeared over it. Munching down. Oh, Neblime busy back at home, not really microing his army right now. Has to get it together because the pariahs are here and he can lose his whole army if he's not careful. Doesn't look like he has anything else to worry about on the mind control front, but he will clear that last pariah, and we still don't have detection. Shambler is finally building something that can build detection. The embassy, it's not a forge for upgrades, it's an embassy that makes you all kinds of units like your observer equivalent, the witness. Well, Neblime doesn't want to get too ahead of the schedule here. All these Mind Tyrants empowering many Protoss units, trying their best to stave off the Zerg and maybe turn them to heal. Many more Ultra Cores were made. If those started turning, changing over to Protoss control, that could be problematic. But any mind-controlled unit will take extra damage. So like these Lakes are easier to pop, for example. It's like they might as well have half health. They take way more damage. So very, very potent there. DeWalt's going to be playing in Cosmonarchy against Bonneth on the 13th of September. So mark your calendars if you're interested in that. That'll be a good one. Him and Bonneth always have good games in StarCraft 1. Why not have him play Cosmonarchy? So we'll see a lot more Protoss at that point. Armed with a witness, he can finally detect the Lurker equivalent. We'll see if he can make that happen. Matravel Nest coming, so we are going to see probably the Vilgora Core, if I had to guess. It's a tanky Zerg unit that creates a mini Dark Swarm around itself when it takes damage. Very, very good for melee. He's got a lot of Ultra Core, so it would go a long way. They would become even tankier. Pariahs wouldn't mind it, though, since I guess the Lakizalisk attack, the Lurker Spines, right? They hit pretty hard, even under Dark Swarm, so besides that, though, it would be pretty good. All right, they're sharking around the map right now, trying to figure out where each other's army is. If you go after this base at 12 o'clock, Shambler might learn that lesson again 2 games in a row, where he ends up losing his whole army, and then the Zerg has a big force as well. So they're coming in. Where's the focus? They've stolen an Ultra Core already. Is he going to go after those Mind Tyrants? That's the question. I don't know that the answer is yes. Burrowing around the Khaz'it is a great choice versus the melee, and now descending on it. One of the Mind Tyrants has fallen. It looks like they've actually lost all of their champions. They're malefactors. They can't control anything else, and they're descended upon. The Zerg mulch through. The Lake is just owning right now. All those spines clearing the way of the chaff. And what more does Shambler have back at home? He has not made an Ancestral Archives or even an Argosy for that matter. He has no extra tech from the last time we saw him. And the Zerg are descending. We have a couple of Mind Tyrants, but they haven't actually cast their ability. They have not chosen a champion, and it's too late now. Popped at the last second. I think this is where it ends. I think Neblime has overwhelmed his opponent finally. Cracking open. We got an engram chewing away, but the super cannon ain't going to be so super. Eaten like everything else. GG. Neblime takes the set. 3-2. Now that was a game of Cosmonarchy, ladies and gentlemen.